So when we first evacuated from the city, from our home to the countryside, the first 2 years I stayed home, take care of my younger one. At the age of 8, I was separated into a forced labor camp. I worked in the rice paddy. And this is what the rice paddy looked like. And this is exactly kind of walk path we have. You know, we have to catch up with the group, and you walk constantly going through this, and sometimes you fall. And then while you work in the field, your foot sinks in the mud. And if you imagine, every day you walk and you're just trying to, you barely have anything to eat. Your body's so frail. There's no energy and you're heat exhausted. Trying to lift your body, pick your foot up from the mud, and we're like kind of off balance like that, by the fall. And then when the wind comes through a little bit, you could just feel like you're just going to collapse. So. During this time, we were given 8 bundles of these to be planted. These not even made up quarter a bundle. We planted individually, not in a bunch, but just a single stalk. We have to plant it like that and let it stay. And I have to give enough space in between each pot to grow. It's gonna spread, it's gonna get bigger. So I'm supposed to be knowing what I do because we claim to be a farmer all our life. So my food, it depends on how successful I am when it comes to planting this stalk. It may look easy, but the work is really hard. It's a backbreaker. So I have to dig this into the mud deep and let it sink in, and it has to be uniform in a row, but because you can tell already it's not straight, it's crooked. So each day I do this kind of work anywhere from 10 to 12 hours. And then when I finish one row, I'm supposed to start the next. So of course the rice paddy is way, way, way big in this. So you can see from that distance all the way to where the man walking. And it's a quadrant, so it's from this corner to that corner. So it's a square. So we assigned, like I said, 8 bundles. So it probably by myself, it probably take quarter of this field to finish each day. And if I don't finish it, I don't get to eat. And during the break, if I have any break at all, while my leader's still watching, I pretend that I'm planting this rice, but at the same time kind of searching for unlucky crabs, snails, or anything that cross. Then I would take it, and then looking again, will fold in my pan and hide it for my food. So right now you just see me, but at those times there'll be hundreds of other children around my age. We're doing the same thing. We're next to each other, working silently. We're not allowed to talk to each other. Everybody just keep on working. Everybody for themselves because they want to earn this small bowl of watery rice soup. Yeah. So we're going to turn around and here when we do this, and I see my mom. It gives it seedings, and this is like almost ready to harvest. So during the height season of harvesting, this one of the year happened to see my mother in the work field. We all were bending down, cutting I guess down to the straw of this planting. Then I look, just to see how much more I had to go to do my job, or where's the Mekong, who's the group leader, if any nearby, near me before I can sneak anything that crawls around for my food. Then I just happened to see my mother, the next quadrant. First time I saw her, that face registered, but I wasn't sure it was my mother. But then I started, after a while, bending down, working for a while. Then I look again. Sure enough, that was my mother. And my heart just like pound. I feel like it's just going to jump out of my chest. I want to see my mother so much. I wanted to talk to her. I wanted able to run to her, but I couldn't. Because I know if we have any kind of contact, I put my mother's life as well as mine in danger. So. We go to sleep like this, that dirty, all covered up, our clothes all muddy. We go to sleep and wake up before the mud even dry. So in other words, we have very little sleep. We work, like I said, 8, 10 to 12 hours a day, depending. Sometimes we sleep for like an hour. They feel the need to interrupt us from our sleep to listen to the speech. They do mostly interrogation. They applaud you. They brainwash you. They're trying to turn you against your family. They often say, well, what your parents do, what you do this, during the old government before, the prior job. And I strictly stick to my story where my father told us we were farmer.